right? And again, you talk about your reasons for not wanting that to have, not wanting your wife to get into that, which are legitimate reasons based on, your experiences. You talk about bad experiences that you had, more than 5. Many people can relate to this. Those who are trying to get onto this online business, there are many of them who have tried something before and it did not work. It did not work, right? Also, the idea of social media exposure. As a man, an African, you would always want to, you don't want that question of somebody says, listen, what is your wife always saying on social media? Me, I've said that time and time again. And I have one responder I always ask, right? Pamela Anderson. Becky Anderson on CNN. She's always on TV. Do you think the husband will complain? So, and I tell people, listen, being on social media constantly and letting your life out on social media are two separate things. You can be on social media and do your business on social media without letting social media control you, or without opening all your life onto social media. Social media is just another media outlet as television, as radio. We have respectable people where their wives work in radio, television, and so. Why can't your wife work on social media? If at least you understand and you know that she is working, she is not out on social media gossiping. So yes, people do have concerns which are legitimate, but then we should not mischaracterize what Juice Plus business and having, to do work on social media, what that means. And there is one thing that you said, which I wrote it down, is very important, that you were open-minded. When you saw the benefits, you did not let your ego say, listen, because I had said I don't want it, I'm not even going to consider anything. You were open-minded, and that is what I ask people. Be open-minded. Make decisions, make informed decisions. Be open-minded. I would not blame anybody for being skeptical or having some deep-rooted questions about what the business is all about, wanting their spouse to do it. But be open-minded and see that this may be different. And I like what you said your wife did, which is should serve as a reminder to every other person out there watching, every couple. Because I failed before does not mean I am bound to fail this time. Come on, people. The only thing that you can guarantee if you are trying to do something is that you will fail at some point. That is a fact. It is a constant. You would fail. So if failure is a deterrent to you, you would never do anything. And if you do something and you don't fail and you end at that point, know that you are living beyond that. You are living short of what your true potential is. Failures are teaching moments. Your wife might have tried 5 different businesses and failed. Those failures, those experiences prepared her, and that is what propelled her to Presidential Marketing Director Plus. Let people learn from that. Let's bring in our other guest, Mr. Abraham.
Yeah.
Let's get your story.
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, we just came into the business newly. It was I always call her sister boss lady. She lives in Germany, Rosemary Orubo. She's such a nice lady. Actually, I have heard about this Juice Plus for quite a long time. There was a lady that was sharing her testimony on the Facebook. That was about 5 years ago. So I keep going from one chemist or pharmacy or the other, looking for that Juice Plus, because she testified about diabetes, how her diabetes, just wiped away. So I went to a lot of places looking for, not until there's one thing about God. You see, people don't understand God. God always waits for the right season to act. He always waits for the right wave to launch you into certain things. Now it was Rosemary from nowhere. I had a recording, and we joined this business. I just joined this business last May. We are here. She was the one who enrolled us, registered us, I and my wife just this May. We are just 3 weeks in this business. one thing I have seen about life is, first of all, because I heard them saying, be a product of your product. First of all, you must first of all know about that product. What do I mean by this? You must first of all take this product yourself. Because if there's a result for you now, it will now yield you that opportunity to go to people to tell them about this product. So, because that day when my sister boss lady, Rosemary, registered us, I said, okay, what do we do? He said, first of all, you have to buy this product. We spent close to £1,000. We have to buy for everybody in our home. Close to £1,000 because they say health is wealth. We are not talking about the money right now. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry for money's sake, because everything has its time. Because they say patience is the key that connects effort to success.
Absolutely.
Patience is the key that connects effort to success. So when you are in a hurry to make this money, no. Get use of that product first. We are in the product now. I have type 2 diabetes. So I've been taking them. I've been seeing change because I have a reading where I take readings every day, every weekend, Now, about this product, like I said earlier, I have heard much about this juice plus. You understand me? So I believe that where each and every one of us we get to that finishing line, it's a must, because we are created for a purpose in this life. Yeah. Each and every one of us, we are created for a purpose, because every time you walk out of your purpose, there is always a famine that awaits you in the future. When you step out of your purpose, I know I have a purpose. Before my sister, boss lady, called me, recorded, and said, I must call that. They say, business. I don't know her before. From nowhere, she got my number from somebody, which means God has a hand in it. You understand? God has a hand in it. Because I want to, first of all, get used to the product. Though I have been talking to a lot of people. I've called America. I've written people I know in Canada. Here in England, I have written. Nobody has given me a response yet. Even this evening, I have to send this link to them that, look, you must come and watch me if you're watching. Come and watch me speak. Because one thing is to first of all advertise yourself for your product. The product is on that thing entirely. When they see me speak, they say it's true. We have to let's say that join this or buy this product, because they must buy. They must buy, because God, there's one thing about God. When God created us, you understand me? He gave us choices. He gave us choices. That is why, I want to bring in the scriptures there. But that's why when you go to the book of Deuteronomy 13:19, he said, this day I call heaven and earth as a witness against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. He said, now choose life, that you and your children may live. Why did God say so? So that you will choose the right thing to do in life. Because there are people who go out there in the club, they buy champagne of £3,000 just to show, you understand me? But they cannot buy this product for themselves. They cannot buy mercy for themselves. You understand me? That's where the Bible said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And he went on to say, because you refuse knowledge, I will reject you. So what am I trying to say? I'm advising each and every one of anybody that is watching online now. First of all, go to this product. I've heard about it before. I told you. Go to this product, this Juice Plus. It started working now. I can see a lot of changes in my wife and my children and myself. I told you, as I said earlier, the money will come. The business aspect of it will come. I'm never in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. I have never been. First of all, somebody has discovered me. That is why I said God has God. You see, before someone discovered you, God has laid down a kind of a business for you to go through in life. Because the things we go through in life are preparation for our rising. You understand me? Whatever we go through is a preparation for our rising. Rome was not built in a day. one thing I know, I keep telling everybody, each time I talk to people, I say, look, one thing first of all is be patient. We will all get to the finishing line. Because my prayer for each and every one of us that are in this Juice Plus business, whatever, is that we will all finish well. We shall all finish well. God has created, He did not create us to come and suffer here. He gave us these things. The Juice Plus of a thing is fruits and vegetable. Who created them? God. So they were made into this capsule for our own purpose, for our own usage. Absolutely. You understand me? I know this Juice Plus because I told you I have been going up and down. I don't know where to get it. Before my sister boss lady said, hey, my brother, there's something we want to do. I never knew it was Juice Plus. So when I told my wife, he said, what are you waiting? I said, I'm already registering. You understand? One thing, you see, everything is one thing after the other. It's not, I'm not in a hurry for the money. The money will come. I know where I'm going. I'm an evangelist. I know where I'm going. You understand me? Absolutely. I know where I'm going, my brother. Yeah. That's for now. I will speak much later.
Yeah. So let me just come back to you. You said you've been in this business just for 3 weeks.
3 weeks, right?
You heard about the product. It's been more than 5 years you heard about the product.
Yeah.
And, and just to let my people here, they understand something.
Yes.
Time I tell people, listen, because when I do training at times, I hear people say, listen, in my network, it seems everybody already knows about Juice Plus. Those supposed to buy, they have already bought. So it is very difficult. And I tell the people, listen, you cannot, I just give a little bit of statistics to let them know that there is a market out there.
Yeah.
You should not discount anybody. Because I say, if you look at there are 29 countries in which Juice Plus operates. And I always use this simple mathematics, right? If I want to be as conservative as possible, I will give the populations in these 29 countries, 1.5 billion people live in these 29 countries. And if I want to take the number of people who are already using the product and or representatives, I will put them at 500 million. And that is a very generous, generous estimation I'm making. What that means is that there is another 1 billion potential people out there living in the market where this product is sold who are waiting for you to reach out to them. We are talking here, and you have heard from Mr. Abraham himself. He heard about the product more than 5 years ago. He has been going into pharmacies and drugstores for the product, but expecting somebody to reach out until Sister Rosemary from Germany reached out to him. So let this inspire you. Let this make you understand that even if it feels as if you are reaching out to everybody and there are people out there, you just need to reach out to different people.
Yes.
So there is a market out there, people. There are many people out there like Mr. Abraham who have heard about this product and they are looking. Reach out.
And I want to say something too. Please. You see, one thing people don't understand. Our life is in the hands of two people, yourself and God. Our life, yourself and God. So if you want to use people, because there are people you will now tell that this product cost, because the pack we got was about 408 pounds of the 8. I might want to tell somebody now that, look, this thing costs 400. He will tell me, instead of me using that money, why don't I use that money to go and buy land? He forgot that, maybe that person now forgets that you must be alive first to buy a land and to build. That is common sense. You understand me? People, you know the problem. What the problem of people? They when you call money for them, they don't even think. They say, your head first, your health. Because me, I cherish my head, because when you die, what is the use of that money? Your head first. I told you we spent close to £1,000 to buy this product because I want the health of me and myself and my children first. Absolutely. So important, very, very important.
Yeah, those who look at money and say, listen, £1,000 to buy healthy products for yourself and your whole family.
Yes.
Are those who have never found themselves in a hospital ward and the price of medication to come out of an ailment. You would understand that when they say prevention is better than cure, that is not just an adage that is being used. That is reality. Being penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah.
Regarding the cost aspect of it, if I may just throw this in, right? I'm a salesman. I used to be a salesman, right? I still am a salesman. Once a salesman, always a salesman.
A salesman, right.
And this is one of the things that I always had to confront. You know, we talk about overcoming objections in sales. And I never sell on price. I never sell in price. And when I look at the Juice Post product, the price is the least I consider about the product, because I sell on the product benefits. And every time, I mean, without fail, every time I have had a conversation with someone about the product, I have sold. My wife always tells me, hey, why don't you come and talk with this guy? Do you realize that each time you talk to somebody, either you sign them up or you sell, then there's something. And it is very simple. And I've done these trainings a couple of times. I sell on product value. Because as I sold lastly, when I sold to one of my senior guys, he's in Africa, he's in Togo. And I was telling him, listen, what I can recommend, because for him, I don't know of anything that he may really have. I just say, listen, you need to be healthy. You need something that can, boost your metabolism. You need to have much more vitamins. That basically you need to build muscle, body tissue, ligaments, and so. And I would recommend the premium capsule. He how much does that cost? I say, listen, the premium capsule 4-month supply will cost you €300. That's an equivalent of about 200,000 the CFA franc that's used in Togo. And he was like, come on, 200,000. I'm like, listen, 200,000, that is not an issue. Let me tell you about the product itself. I was like, remember the days when we used to live back home in Cameroon and we would buy fruits? You were keen on buying fruits almost every 2-3 days. How much did that cost? Let me just say about 25 or 2,500 in CFA. We bought how many different types of fruits did we buy, right? How long did we use them? 2,500, 2,500. I mean, multiply that by the number of days that we had those fruits. For how many varieties? But listen, look at what I'm offering you. I'm offering you, these are organic. These are organic fruits, vegetables, and berries.
Yeah.
4 months supply. And in one go, you are taking 30. So 10 fruits, 10 vegetables, 10 berries in one go. And you don't need to get up and look for somebody who is going to peel a pineapple, slice the pawpaw and all those things. Here, you just pick the product. You are a busy man, I know. So when I saw the product benefits and everything, and then I broke down that €300 for 4 months supply, and it ended at €2.50 per day. I'm like, bros, really tell me, are you complaining that you are not willing to go for 10 fruit, 10 vegetables, 10 berries at €2.50 per day? And he said, put in the order. He just said, go ahead, put in the order. So when you talk about price, for someone who is struggling, right, and you talk about £1,000, €300, and so, I mean, it may sound, it may be deafening to someone because that amount, it's a big amount. Let's not minimize it. But you need to put that in context for the person to know that, listen, we are talking about 4 months supply, and this is the product, the product, the fruits, the vegetables, and so. And also the convenience, because it's not just that it's fruits and vegetables. There is the convenience of taking this. From this, we're talking about 2 years and 5 months. When I started taking this product, I've never stopped, and I don't miss a single day. And I don't consider it work to take this, because what I do, get up the shelves, take this thing and drink it with water, and that is it. I take in less than 10 seconds. I've already taken 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries. So when you sell on product, on the advantages, the benefits of the product, and price usually is not an issue. So
sorry to cut you off. You know why I said that issue? Because there was somebody I've already spoken about the product. He said, what does it cost? What is the cost? I first gave him my own first cost, so that is the pack of 8 that cost about £400 and something. He said, that money, if you convert that money to Nigeria, that money can buy me a plot of land. He said that money can buy me a plot of land. I now quoted the scripture for him because I was ready for him. I quoted it. I said, look, excuses are like nails used in building a house of failure. I said, you people, we always give excuses. Just like a nail used in building a house of failure. I give you an example. I said, for example, the scripture said in 1 Corinthians 3:6, I said, Apostle Paul said, I planted, Apollos watered, and God gave the increase. First of all, he said, God is the only one that cure. I said, don't drink the product. When you take that product, God is the one that heals. That is what the scripture is talking about. First of all, you take the product, and because God cannot just, otherwise everybody in the hospital would have gotten healed now. You understand me? You tell this. I said, look, tell this one. I think, but I'm believing that by the grace of God, he's going to get back to me. He will buy that product, but that he buys it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sell on the product benefits.
Yeah. Because for me, we have bought our own. We are watching ourselves. I know God is the one that will finish the job. You understand? The first important thing is for us to get used to the product. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you talked about being the product of a product. Very important.
Yeah.
When Richmond talked,
husband should leave him.
Let me mute this up. So when Richmond talked about the product, if you could tell, you could see how much you could see soul into what he was talking about. You could see that there was a feeling, and that's why when I talk about people's stories, because when somebody tells you the story of these migrants and gives you an example of driving on the way and having to park because you cannot. This is something that it touches you to the core, right? And when somebody tells you that after that was before, now, thanks to this plus other things that he has been doing, he's somewhat free from that. These are the type of stories that transcend and, they touch people. So your story is very important. So, Mr. Abraham, continue, keep on with the product, be the product of the product, and you have a story about the product to talk about.
Yeah.
Let me come back to Mr. Richmond. There is something that you hit on, which I would want to, I already tried to do a recap on this power distance as an African man, and you have, people who like, okay, I don't want my wife to do this. I would have loved to do this business, but the social media part of it is not something that I want. Each time when I tell them about social media, they say, listen, I am using like some grandstanding examples. When I say, I call CNN or Sky or BT journalists who are on TV, they say, no, it is not the same thing. But I want you, Mr. Richmond, you have been there. You stood your ground as an African man, then realized that you were being ignorant. And you finally, you did not cave in because you finally you were open-minded and you saw that this is not what you thought. So could you just briefly say it, let it be your own words for someone who has been there, for someone who stood as an African man, having those customs that know social media exposure for your spouse is not the best thing. Let the people who are out there who have this concerns, let them hear it from you. So please, I want you to strike that point again. How the reasons why you got into it and what really convinced you to say, listen, your wife can go on social media and get this done.
Well, I think it works two ways. Okay. As an Africans, I think we have that kind of mentality that if there's a husband and a wife, the husband needs to be actually taking decisive decisions. And we think that our decisions are final. That kind of mentality is actually eating into us. And I think I won't blame those of us who were in that situation, because I am not somebody that is not educated. I'm a very level-headed person. And even looking at my profession, it will be very difficult for me to actually be anti-oppressive or being oppressive to my wife, because we practice on anti-discrimination and anti-oppressive. But because this kind of behavior has been embedded in us, sometimes it becomes a challenge for us. So at that point, that was what I thought. And I think we say that, yes, of course, we don't have to look at our past, but sometimes we take our past to make decisions. Okay. So based on my past experience, that actually made me to take that kind of skeptical decision at that time. Okay. The other side of it was that it also goes to the women, our Africans women. If your wife is trustworthy, if your wife know what she is doing at social media, knowing that I am on social media, any platform of social media for business purposes, that trust will always prevail. But sometimes you'll be thinking that your wife is there pretending or fronting this business as she is doing a business, but behind that, there's something going on. So it cut across. It's not just we, the men, but sometimes the women also have to know the reason why they are on social media. You see, even the reason why I even got to trust my wife and believe that, yes, she is there to do big time business. She would tell me, look, I think this business is for both men and women, but most men that come to my friends, what sometimes they begin the story from don't seem to be the fact that they want business.
Absolutely.
And immediately I brought them from there. She will show me some of the stories or some of the conversations that she has with them. And this actually built my confidence for me to trust my wife that, oh, the way I thought before is not what I am hearing now. So the women also have to prove to the men that, look, I am there for a business purposes, nothing more, nothing less. Because there are a host of women out there from our continent who always go to Facebook or social media just to make fancy, silly things and other things that will not even bring a penny or a pence into their pockets. They just go there for fun. Why you can make money out of that place? Okay. So personally, I had a problem, but my wife, my boss lady, helped me to cure that problem because she showed to me that she is a trustworthy husband, wife. She will not do anything silly there. She is there to change our lives, not her own life. Okay, so there should be a clear transparency between whoever is already there. Even men, sometimes we can also have problem with our wife. They would think, oh, the man started the business. She's always on Facebook or social media. And who are you even talking to? They want to know what they are doing. Okay, so the trust should be there. If you want to be in this business, the most important, especially those that are in relationship, the trust should be a key thing. Let your husband or your wife know what you are doing there. The moment you started hiding the phones and the laptop and the what thing, then there should be a suspicion. So I think this is the simple thing I would say.
Thanks very much. I mean, you nailed it. You nailed it. So, I mean, when I talked about this in the past, I've not been able to, explain it from the perspective as you did. And that is why I like someone who has been there. Whenever you explain it, it is way more succinct. Because now, for all those, I don't know, we have about 120 people online. For all those who have been asking time and time again, how did you succeed, to do this with your wife? How did you just, let her go on social media and be this successful? Were you not concerned? And I was giving answers that they consider them grandstanding answers. And that is simply because those are the answers, and that is how I did it. But hearing from you, someone who was first concerned, and also now learning that there are certain things that your wife did which help you in that decision in return, reversing your stance. Let the women who have been asking this question, let them learn from this. That if you have a spouse, if you have a partner who is not very comfortable with you going on social media, that you are going to do business, why not show him how you are doing it? And whenever there is something that comes up which you believe may be the concern that he has, why not then open it up to him so that let him see that, yes, I'm on social media, I am trying to do business, but hey, you will always have some people who do things differently.
Differently, right.
Me or something else. This is an example. When you open up like that, there is no reason. And that's why I've always said, many people have asked me before, What is the key? How did you succeed with your wife to get there? And I say, listen, there is nobody out there. Maybe there are some really crazy people in this world. There may be somebody who can see an opportunity like this to make this level of income with this level of comfort being at home, and also have this amount of healthy, products that you're using, and then decide to say, no, you know what? I would be taking a bus, or I would be driving 30 minutes to an hour to go work in an office with people who don't like me, stress up 8-10 hours a day, come back home, and then just be grumpy. I prefer that to getting. So, yeah, this is, it is but evident. Because I talk to my people in America, dollar bills are green. If it comes from your job or it comes from your business, it is money. And if you have a way that you can get it easier, why not? Yeah, Priscilla, you're laughing. That's what I've always said, right? Bills are green. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. And I hope the next time I have someone ask this question, I would always quote Richmond on how Richmond reverses his decision.
Yeah, if I may chip into what Richmond just said,
sure,
about trust. They said trust is the only basis for a strong love.
Yes.
Trust is the only basis for a strong love. And life is a question, and how we live life is our answer. So people don't understand about life. People have that mentality that there's something happening there, not knowing that you have a purpose, a plan for the home. That's why you see some people don't trust their wife going to business. But when that trust is there, the key there is the trust. Trust is the only basis for a strong love. And look at it was the wife that brought this business. He himself, he has another mentality, thinking the wife was doing a hanky-panky business somewhere. You understand me? Not until when the cash started coming, then his brain has to reset.
No, but it's obvious. Yeah, so
yes, it's like that. That is human nature. That's human. But we thank God because we thank God for maturity. Both of them are now doing the business. He quitted his job.
Exactly. So before we get to let my guest give a word to our guest, to those who have been invited, the prospects out there.
Right.
One thing that I always like talking about when I have this opportunity calls, and that is regarding financial education, regarding economic freedom. I have always said it, and I will keep saying it until I don't exist anymore, that we should strive towards economic freedom. And I'm saying this mainly to my brethren of African descent, that we should strive towards financial freedom, because financial freedom is the mother of all freedom, right? We have this orientation where we believe in going to school, getting good grades, getting a job, and working for X and X company with a platinum chip, and you know that you have arrived. I have been there, done that, believed that I arrived. But then there was that small voice always asking me, is this really what you want to do? Until I decided to open up and say, listen, I'm open to something else. I'm willing to do something else. This life of going and sitting in a cubicle or sitting behind a desk with people in an office who you know for sure that don't really like you, sitting there with the notion that an email can come in from HR telling you that you are no longer required, knowing that if you are no longer required this month, you start living on the safety net as from next month. These are some of the things that we go through, and we think it is normal, but it is not normal. When you have options when you have control over your economic situation, right? So I am preaching this to my brethren of African descent. We seem to be the last worldwide to grasp this concept and say we should not be aspiring to work for some other person. We should be aspiring to work for ourselves. And if you were to get onto this business of, this business opportunity, if you were willing to open up and take the first step that I am not leaving my job because I need that buffer, and that makes sense. I did not hear about Juice Plus and leave my job. Richmond just said it. He did not fire his boss immediately. You need to build a buffer.
Yeah.
You will find yourself in a certain sweet spot where nobody needs to tell you to fire your boss.
That's correct.
But you need to already create that in your mind. You need to set that as a goal, that I am looking forward to the day that I would fire my boss. I am looking forward to the day that I will be my own boss. If you don't have that plan and set it as a goal, you would live the rest of your life working and building equity for some other person, not reaching your full potential. This is my plea to my brethren, and I'm hoping that you hear it, you tell some other person. And if it were to happen that you decide to take that step into entrepreneurship by not joining the Juice Plus business opportunity or decide to join some other business, no problem. It is a choice. But I want you to emancipate yourself, open up your eyes and see that the world is moving in a direction where it is not about those who have jobs, but those who have businesses. We need to come out from this bondage in which we are. So I would not want this to go too long. I would want to give a last word to my guest, and I'll ask just a few things to let our guests, our prospects that we have tonight, right? So we have people who have been invited here tonight, some invited by those who just joined recently. And that's why we always say, listen, invite any prospect that you have, let them come to the opportunity calls. They may be able to, change their minds. They may be able to go over the fence. So there are many people who are listening today who are asking, but what is Juice Plus? Why should I join? I will start with Mr. Richmond. You have been in for a while. With your wife, you are seeing the benefits. You are living the benefits. What would you tell the brother out there or the sister out there who is still contemplating to say, listen, I have a job and I don't think they will let me go anytime soon. Why should I bother getting into being a franchise partner? What would you tell them?
Yeah. Well, I think what I would tell those out there is that I was just reading something quite recently, and the person says that those that are living on just a single income, especially from salary, they are just one step away from dying in poverty. Okay. So if you think that at the moment you have a job, and for that matter, whatever we are sharing with you, you think that it's not something that is for you, then I think you need to think twice, especially considering the era that we find ourselves. No job is safe. Okay. And like Gates says, he says that if he was to actually wind the clock back, the type of job or business that we are doing will be the best that he would have gone into. Okay. So what I would say is that these businesses that we are doing, no matter what, you will be able to do it. It doesn't require your educational background. Okay. You don't have to have specific skills because everything is in there. The moment you join, the only thing we want from you is just to say yes. The moment you come in, we work as a community. I've never met Valentine before. I've never seen Abraham before. But here's the case. we are on this one platform. Okay. This is how the whole business is all about. We create a community that brings people together with one purpose. And the purpose is to create a healthy community, not just healthy community, but a wealthy community. Okay. We will embrace you no matter what you are. Okay. And don't think that this business are for women or are for men that have not had anything to do in education. I hold my first degree, my second degree, and my doctorate in business administration. Okay? But I am in this business. It is not all about you waking up 9 o'clock, go back to work, come back at 5 o'clock. How long are you going to maintain this orthodox way of working? And just imagine how long you have done this and the changes that it has brought into your life. My wife started the business a year and a half before I joined. So I will just say that we have been in the business for 3 years. Look, we've been in UK for almost 20 years, isn't it? 19 years. Okay, 19 years. For the past 17 years or 16 years, the past 16 years that we've been in this country, considering the 3 years that we have been in this business, look, what we have been able to make from this business is far, far more than the 16 years that we have spent already. Just imagine. But people will be thinking that we are just singing a song and we are not being truthful. We have integrity. I have a body that actually keep an eye on me because I'm a social worker and I can't lie on public transport. On a social media like this, I can't lie. But I can tell you, there are certain amount that if we see in our accounts, we will be thinking, wow, is it for us?
I feel you, brother. I feel you. I feel you.
You've been there before, so you know what I'm talking about.
I feel you, yeah.
You see, there was some years back when we go to the shop, we'll be looking at the tax before we buy those things. But now we don't care.
Just for them.
Exactly. That is what this business can do for you. Okay. All that you need to do, whoever is watching us, if you are already a registered partner or you are a potential one thinking that you want to join, look, you are not at the wrong place. This is a platform or a business that if you invest time, not a lot of time, but disciplined time into it, my goodness, you will reap exactly how much you invested into it, especially when it comes to time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Those who have ears, let them hear, right? So, in a nutshell, the Juice Plus business opportunity, it is a risk-free online business based on recommending healthy products, period. Risk-free. Nobody is asking you to bring your savings or to go borrow money from somewhere. It is risk-free. You pay a token to register, get a virtual office and a web shop for 1 year. £52, $52. This is £50, 60 euro, 100 dirhams in the UAE. That is the token you pay. And you become a licensed franchise partner. You operate on social media, and that is it. You do what you have been doing, because I can guarantee that everybody who is on this call, who is a prospect, there are more than 100 times in your recent life where you recommended something to someone. Be it a nice handbag, a haircut, a pair of shoes, a restaurant, you recommended. Because by our very nature, we are prone, we are predisposed to do recommendations. When somebody says, I love your haircut, you'll immediately say where you got that haircut from. That is a recommendation. Companies these days are all building loyalty programs, asking for recommendations, telling you that they would give you a 50 or 15% discount on your next bill if you recommend family or friends. That is the power of direct marketing. $6.3 billion industry in direct marketing. That is the way business is going today. We as human beings are naturally predisposed to do recommendations. So, like Richmond said, we don't expect a particular type of person. You don't need a business background. You don't need a degree in this. No. You just need to be the human being that you are, because you are naturally predisposed to recommend. What we're asking you is to take that step. Come in, register, buy the product and use it. And when somebody says, hey, you are glowing, hey, you are toned, hey, I see you are not using your insulin anymore, hey, I see you have not heard you talk about migraines, you tell them why you are not having those ailments anymore. You tell them the benefits that you have gotten. And that is the simple recommendation. That is all you need to do to sell. Whoever invited you to the call, reach out to them to register. And I will give the last word then to my second guest, Mr. Abraham. You've been in just 3 weeks. You found yourself wanting to find the product, and God, like you say, placed a certain Rosemary from Germany to reach out to you.
Yeah.
No, it was destiny.
Yeah.
What would you tell the other people who have others trying to pull them in, but they are resisting? When you were going around looking for a way to come in, how can you let this your contagious energy seep to the other people who are still sitting on the fence?
Yeah, thank you so much. My last word, like I always tell people that we are all in a covenant of choice. Life is all about choice. Winning is a choice. And one thing too, you must always know that is that believing in yourself is the first secret to success. Absolutely. Because people don't believe in themselves. The believing in yourself is the first secret to success. And I want also to tell people that we must always take care of ourselves. Like this Juice Plus, it's something I've been looking around for. And the thing came from a sister, boss lady, Rosemary. That is how God has channeled it to be. Because people cannot drive 100 miles to come and help, people can drive 100 miles to come and bury you. But they cannot cross a street to help you. So you have to help yourself. You have to help yourself. And remember who you are. Don't compromise for anyone. Don't compromise for any reason. Because people are out there to say, don't mind. I'm advising people. Remember who you are. Do not compromise for anyone, for any reason. And whatever happens in life today, God has a very beautiful end to our story. Absolutely. That is God. Whatever we do today, I always believe that He has a beautiful end to our story. So let us be passionate in every good work that we do. Like this Juice Plus, I'm just venturing it into for the first time, but I know I'm seeing the end. I'm always seeing the end. I always see the end of things that is going to be successful. Because it's not by our own power, but by the power of God. Amen. So we must always do things. And I want to thank my dear sister Rosemary, because they said the proof of love is the desire to give. He gave her at her time. Each time I call her, she always answers me, putting me through. That's the best thing. The proof of love is the desire to give. She gave her time. Each time I call her, he said, no, don't worry. Hey, what do you want? That is that, because he wants me to succeed. He wants me to succeed in this business. I know I'm going to succeed. And my prayer for each and every one of us that are in this business is that we must get to the finishing line. Amen. Remember, when you are in a race, all you are looking for is to go to the finishing line. And we are all going to finish well in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. So thank you very much for that. And thanks you to all the 110 people who are still online. Thank you for making time this evening to be with us. Again, there are many promos going out there in certain countries where you can join now for free. Most of the franchise partners, they have this, spread all over social media. Again, we have a standard process. It's a tradition. There are many people who came on to this call. They were invited. we always ask you to go back to the person who invited you and make that step tonight. Sign up first. And like Richmond said, we are a community. This business is not a zero-sum game. This is a business with multiplier effects. We succeed by making others succeed. I am here now. This is me doing my business. I do trainings as my business. And I succeed if I make you succeed.
Yeah.
That is the business model. So come in. We would welcome you with open arms. We would train you and answer the questions that you have and guide you on how you can maneuver the first steps to becoming a successful franchise partner. We are there to help you. There will always be somebody to help you. So thank you very much. This has been slightly longer than we expected, but I appreciate your patience. I thank my guest very much. I appreciate it, Brother Abraham, Brother Richmond. Thank you guys for...
Thank you. God bless you.
...getting on this platform tonight.
Recording stopped.
And hopefully we would be meeting again on this platform soon. Or why not in person if the times so permit. So before we end, are there any people who are new, implying that they do not have an FIN yet, a franchise identification number? That means you are not yet a registered member, a registered franchise partner. If there is anyone out there and